Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go short track racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. One race after our Texas incident that went down with Stewart Haas Racing with Daniel Suarez and Kevin Harvick. But hopefully we can come back today stronger and maybe get a victory out of it. This is one of our best tracks obviously on the schedule, so I'm definitely really confident coming into this one. Maybe we can turn our rough start to the season around. But first of all, we have the Xfinity Series race where we had subscriber Ricky Burbank in the car, starting up inside the top 10 here at Bristol as we got going as he went down towards the turns, one of the inside of the 19 of Brandon Jones at this point as he came out of turns 2, heading down this back straightaway, just trying to get in to the rhythm at this point as he was running that bottom lane early on. Now as he came through to complete this first and opening lap here in Bristol. Usually we run good all around in every series at Bristol Motor Speedway, so definitely expecting some strong performances here today at a track like Bristol. And sure enough, Ricky was moving his way forwards as he came through. Now we're trying to pass the 9 of Noah Gragson as this race had went on, and sure enough, he went down into turns 1. He would make a move on Noah Gragson, and he sure enough would take the position away for a brief amount of time as he came through. Now a little bit later, trying to pass the 98 of Chase Briscoe as he came out of turns 2 side by side with him as they went down into turn 3, and once again he would take the position away and slide up in front of him now. But unfortunately, that was really as far as Ricky Burbank would get. We came straight to the final lap here as he came out of turns 2, heading down this back straightaway towards turn 3 for the final time here behind the 19 of Brandon Jones. And out of turns 4, Brandon Burbank is going to come through to cross the line with a very solid 4th place finish here in Bristol. So our strong start to the season continues with Justin Allgaier winning the race here in Bristol. So Allgaier off to a very strong start as well, but our team has gotten off really well so far to start the season, so definitely carrying some confidence at least in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, and hopefully today will be a turning point here in the Cup Series for the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Obviously getting ready to do our qualifying effort here. We've gotten multiple wins here so far in our Cup Series career, and as we come through now into qualifying, the goal was a 15.771. I was confident we could get right in around that goal out of turns 2, running that higher lane. I didn't get through turns 1 and 2 like I had wanted to. We go down into turns 3 and 4. We get through here pretty decent, but out of turns 4, full throttle on the exit. We come through to cross the line, 15.724, barely beating our goal, and we qualify P7. So a very strong qualifying effort, definitely boosting my confidence for the race here. And on pole, we got Denny Hamlin.
Welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food City 500. This half-mile concrete oval is famous for its high banking and all of the beating and banging that goes on out there. But the only thing that matters to these drivers is winning this race.
All right, thank you, Rick Allen. We're ready to go green here for the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Parker Kligerman starting at the back of the field after failing technical inspection, and Kyle Busch will join him in the back after failing pre-race inspection, and Corey LaJoie, the third driver, sent to the back after an unapproved body modification during qualifying. So 3 drivers starting at the back, including a big name of Kyle Busch, as we advance 1 position into P6 here behind Kevin Harvick. Now as the green flag is out, and we are underway here at Bristol Motor Speedway, hoping to finally turn our rough start to the season around at a track that we have been so strong at so far in our Cup Series career. Now it's been a few races though since we've been able to get a Bristol win. Now as we go down into turn 3, Denny Hamlin leading the way as he jumps up to that higher lane through turn 3 and out of turn 4, already getting into the back there of the 4 of Kevin Harvick. That was one of the drivers that we wrecked in the last episode at Texas. Now as we fade in just behind the 9 and the 4 of Elliott and Harvick going down this back straightaway, thinking about getting to that bottom lane as Ryan Blaney would take over the lead here in Bristol early on as we try to look to the inside of Truex, who got his first win of the season and in a long time in the last episode at Texas, simply because of fuel strategy. Now as my plans were to go to possibly to the 19 car, especially if Truex didn't get a win this season, but considering it was on fuel mileage and not really just him being good, there's definitely still a chance we could end up maybe being in consideration for the 19 now come next season. As we come through a little bit later though in this first stage on lap 11, running P6 just behind Keselowski and the 6 of Ryan Newman, actually getting into the back a little bit there of Keselowski. He's going to go a little bit wide. We exit turns 4 side by side with the Penske champion. As we go down into turns 1, we're going to send it in pretty deep to get clear of Keselowski. We slide up right in front of him as we exit turns 2, and now we are into the top 5 for the first time today. Newman was continuing to work his way forward as we passed Ryan Blaney, moved up into P4 and tried to set our sights now on the 6 of Ryan Newman. We now run into lap traffic, and sure enough, that would be my opportunity to make a pass on Ryan Newman to take over P3. It was just announced today that Newman will be back in the car when NASCAR returns, so definitely looking forward to see Ryan Newman back in the sport now as we came through on, at this point, lap 19, trying to run down the cars up ahead. We come through on lap 22, Chase Elliott running P2 as we were right into the lap traffic. At this point, Elliott was getting pretty aggressive. Hamlin was leading the way, so you see Elliott getting aggressive again, getting sideways on the inside of Brendan Gunn as I was just trying to work my way through the traffic to get up into the mix here to possibly win this first stage as we go down through turns 1 and 2. Come through now a few laps later on lap 27, just a handful of laps to go at this point as we exit turns 2. Hamlin's down to second, but we end up getting a caution. Now as Elliott leads away, the stage comes to an end a few laps early, and that will give us P3 here in stage 1. Clint Boyer rounds up the top 10 now as he would have to come to the pit lane for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires. Didn't make any adjustments as I was very happy with the car. So we would gain 1 position on the pit lane between the stages, and that would put us in P2 for the start of the second stage now as Chase Elliott and myself lead the way on this front row. Denny Hamlin drops down to P3 and gets a very slow restart as we had the edge over the 9 into turns 1 now as we come through out of turns 2. We get a little bit tight and actually hit the wall there on the exit of the corner. Keselowski gets into the back bumper of myself as we go down into turns 3. Now contact with Denny Hamlin. We're sliding up the track as we exit turns 4, and we're making more contact as we were 3 wide for a brief moment, and that allows the 8 to get ahead of me as we go down into turns 1. Hamlin sliding, but he's going to hang on to the car now as we hit the wall again on the exit of turns 2, and all of a sudden we have damaged our car on the back bumper, the right side, still holding on to P3 after that complete mess of a restart now, as we would though still have the car to actually compete, thankfully, as we had run down the 8 of Daniel Hemrick again now on lap 5 of the stage, slide up right in front of him, and then try to set our sights now on the 9 of Chase Elliott for that lead position. Sure enough, we would close in on the back of the 9 as we came through on lap 7 of 32 in stage 2, and we just continue to close in. We come to a few laps later now on lap 11, going down into turn 3, a little bit of a bump to the back of the 9 as we exit turns 4, as he's going to get sideways on the exit of the corner. I hit the brake to avoid him, and now we're slipping and sliding all over the track. We make a big save and get back on track, and once again trying to run down the 9 of Chase Elliott. That certainly got very close to being a bit of a disaster. We come through on lap 14, we had run right back up to him and had a chance to now take the lead as we exit turns 4, nearly taking him out there on the left rear as he came through down into turns 1, trying to get to his outside instead, where I was more comfortable with the car as we go down this back straightaway on lap 15, almost at the halfway point in the stage, as we're going to get to his right rear as we come through turns 3 and turns 4, a little bit of a bump there to the back of the 9. We hit the wall there on the exit of the corner, and as we go down into turns 1, Elliott's going to go very sideways as we're going to try and go around the outside of him through turns 1 and 2, and now we will take the position there after a bit of a heated battle with Elliott for the lead position. We take the lead though as we exit turns 4, and we would just drive away from this point on. We come through on lap 19 of the stage, working our way now through lap traffic. Kevin Harvick had worked his way up into the second position, so we were just trying to hang on as he had actually closed the gap to myself as we were continuing to work through lap traffic. We'd get to Joey Logano, who was having a very rough race here in Bristol. We put him a lap down. We came through on lap 26 of 32, just continuing to work our way through traffic. This point on now, we had actually pulled away from Kevin Harvick in second place, and we were just slicing through the field. We come to just 2 laps to go here in the stage. Our first stage win of the season came a few races ago at Martinsville. The first, or well, one of the short tracks, I should say, not the first short track of the season, as we actually get to the back there of Matt Tiff. Pretty good, but that's going to be okay because we're about to pit anyways. But we're looking for stage win number 2 on the season here as we go down into turns 1 on this white flag in the second stage. No one even close enough to battle us for the stage victories. We start this final half a lap here in stage 2, trying to put Austin Dillon a lap down as we exit turn 4. We're going to get ahead of him as we exit the corner, and we come through to win stage 2 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So definitely showing some serious speed. William Byron's going to round out the top 5 here in the second stage. Elliott down in P3, so some Hendrick drivers actually up in the mix now. Daniel Suarez P9, Pomanar though rounds out the top 10 here for the stage points, as we would obviously pit for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires. William Byron gained 4 positions on the pit lane, so we drop down to P2 here on the restart now as we're ready to go green for the third and final stage. A bit of a slow restart there for the 24 of Byron as we make this rush down into turns 1. Daniel Suarez up into P6. I was a little bit concerned when I saw him in there, but I felt like we had enough speed in the car where we really shouldn't have to worry about Daniel Suarez unless we're putting him a lap down possibly now as we come through out of turns 4 side by side with the Hendrick driver of William Byron, who's still looking for his first career win in real life in the Cup Series as well in our career mode here in the video game as we exit turns 2 side by side with the 24 as we go down into turn 3. We would though clear the 24 of William Byron, and at this point just try to run away with the lead. We came through now on lap 69. Nice. At this point, 57 laps to go as we'd started to slowly stretch out the gap now to just a few car lengths over Byron. Then we come through on lap 76. About over half a second of a lead at this point over William Byron, who still held on to second place, but the car was just driving really good at this point. And we come through now on lap 80, just blowing our way through the field. We were just now starting to lap the 47 of Ryan Preece. Byron still held on at this point to the second position as we came through on lap 87. Like I said, just really not much activity going on, but as I say that, the caution comes out with 38 laps to go, 35 laps of fuel in the car, so we are going to have to come to the pit lane, which could be an important pit stop, but I would decide to do 4 tires, play it safe here, and as well as make sure we get some fuel in the car. Did half a can, and then, like I said, 4 tires, we would come out in the lead, thankfully. So this could be the final restart of the race now as the green flag is back out. And once again, we are underway now with just 35 laps to go as we go down into turns 1. William Byron there in P2, but it looks like he's going to lose a position possibly to the 8 of Daniel Hemrick, who's up in the mix here on this restart. Daniel Suarez still up inside the top 10. No probation thrown out yet for Suarez or myself, but that could definitely change in the coming races. If things get heated once again now as we come through out of turns 2, we would just move back up to that higher lane and start to drive away. But Keselowski would actually get up into second place as we came through with 29 laps to go. And to my surprise, Keselowski would run me down as we came through down this back straightaway. So all of a sudden on lap 98, it appears to me that we actually have some competition, as I didn't know what quite was happening here because Keselowski just had more speed than I did with 27 laps to go now. But I knew lap traffic would eventually become a problem if we did not have any yellows. But Keselowski gets to my inside as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4. I send it in deep, trying to hold on to the position, but out of turns 4 I have to get out of the throttle. Keselowski is going to come through to take the lead away from us here with just 26 laps to go. I tried to battle on the outside, still had nothing for Keselowski, but to my surprise, instead of him driving away, we would actually stick with him. So we come through now to lap 104, then 106. He's stuck behind the 96 of Parker Kligerman, so then I look to the outside of Keselowski through turns 3 and turns 4, and we're going to come through and actually take the lead back from Keselowski as Elliott is now back in the mix. He might want a little bit of revenge on us from earlier as we drove into him a couple of times, got him very sideways, nearly cleaned him out. Now it's came through on lap 108, working our way through the lap traffic. Elliott up into second at this point with just 17 laps to go. But usually the lap traffic allows me to create a good gap, so we come through now on lap 112, and sure enough, it was starting to allow me to stretch out the gap to Elliott with 14 laps to go at this point, looking for our first win with Chip Ganassi Racing, and it looks like it's definitely going to be possible now as we come through to lap 115, 11 to go at this point. A lot of lap traffic right here in the vicinity with 11 to go, but I just kind of stayed up on the top lane and was able to drive through it, going 3 wide with some drivers like Joey Logano, who's having a very, very rough race now as we came through, passing Johnson as well as Brendan Gaughan, just hoping it would stay green at this point because I know how fast the 2 car is, but we would completely drive away with this lap traffic being in our favor. Elliott was about the pole corner behind us, so now at this point we come to just 2 laps to go, just hoping, please, let us stay green for about 10 more seconds, and we will start the final lap here in Bristol, as we haven't had a whole lot of competition since the lap traffic came into effect since this final restart. And sure enough, as we exit turns 4, the white flag is in the air. It's been a rough start to the season, to say the least. Definitely the roughest start we've had to a season in our career. But we come through down this back straightaway towards turns 3 for the final time here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And as we exit turns 4 for the first time, we're going to get a win for Chip Ganassi Racing.
Driver, way to earn that checker flag.
First win of hopefully many here in the number 42 car this season, but it probably will be our only season in the 42 car, and our 4th full-time season already in the Cup Series. Very happy to get to victory lane finally. Like I said, it's been a really rough start to the season. Daytona didn't go well, Atlanta didn't go great, Las Vegas didn't go well. What other tracks? Phoenix, Martinsville didn't end well, Texas didn't go well, so there's a lot of races so far this season that haven't gone well, but today here in Bristol nearly went perfect. There was definitely some moments that didn't go our way as we blow the engine here on our burnout, but our first win in the 42 comes with McDonald's on the car now, so very happy to get the win for them there. As you see the finishing order on your screen, Chase Elliott in the second position, Alex Bowman the first car lap down in P20. As we round out the order now is down in 40th place. We got Ryan Truex It was 5 laps down at the end of that thing. Now, as we're up to 6th in the points, like I said, obviously it hasn't been a great season, and that's why we're down in like P6. Usually we're in like 2nd or 3rd, but still 6th is nothing to be too concerned about. As well, with the win, we are locked in the playoffs, so hopefully we can just start racking up the playoff points, because every season in our career mode we've had to fight to that Final Four really hard, and I would love to just rack up a bunch of playoff points. Maybe this can be a start of dominance, and we can just go and get a bunch of playoff points and some wins. So we'll see how it goes. In the next one, we go with short track racing once again at Richmond. We won there before, so hopefully we can do that again. So as always, thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode. So I will see you guys in the next one at Richmond. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.